Welcome to the Tactics Talk for the Chelsea game, the return of Enzo, the battle at the bridge, whatever you want to call it. Sam, welcome. Give us your take on this game because the last since Ruud's been in, really, it's been absolutely dreadful, hasn't it? And I just don't know. I don't know what we can do or where the next points are coming from right now.
The points were going to come from the games just played, really. We're going to have to pull out a massive miracle to try and get something out of any of the games remaining for us. These next 6 games are really going to be, they're going to be tough for us because we're probably going to lose a lot of them. And the teams around us are also going to go and probably pick up some extra points, and they're going to start to, slip away. So after the game last weekend, Reedy, I really thought Ruud would have been sacked. Again, another disappointing performance against West Ham. 2 goals conceded again, 0 goals scored. After coming off losing 4-0 at home to Brentford, conceding 4, scoring none. I'm not really sure what the game plan is here because I don't think Ruud knows what he's doing. I don't think he's the right man. I think we're kind of, be careful what you wish for. Because, a lot of fans were calling for Cooper and we've replaced him with a manager with a lot less experience and a lot less quality, if you ask me, in the relegation battle. But, this is where we are. I think we have kind of just accepted this is what we are going to be. We're trying to not spend money. We're not trying to waste money and see what we can do in the Championship next year. And I've said the past few weeks that we are probably down because, nothing's changing. So... I don't really know what to say from that, really, to be honest. Really, it's kind of like it sounds a bit deflated, but I'm giving the same energy I think the club and the manager's given us.
Yeah, it is very weird, and my kind of look on Enzo and all that, and I feel like as much as we said that Ruud doesn't have the experience, Enzo didn't as well, but I feel like the tactical side of it, I did think Enzo really had it down to a T. In a way, yes, people might have thought it was boring last season, but the way we played with that felt like the extra man all the time with Ricardo in midfield. I feel like this game really will show you the difference in quality of the managers. Like I do feel like they will show us how the formation's actually meant to be played. And yes, they have got 10 times better quality players than like Cole Palmer and whatnot, but this is where Ruud now, for me, he can't try and combat it. You've got to try and go and sit back. You've got to try and do something to not let them play, because for me, if you let them play or you try and combat what they're doing, you're just going to get absolutely rinsed because they know what to do against many teams in the league, especially how Ruud's been a bit quite of a what's the word for it? He's been very. You can read what Ruud's going to do. You can read what Ruud's going to do most games. But it is what it is. We've got to get into the this game and think what can we do to try and win the game either way. Dawn says here, Ruud needs to give the youngsters a try. Can't do any worse. I don't think that's, in my opinion, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I get the point of it, but if we can't play well with what we've got and you give the youngsters, it might be even worse. And I'm not saying it would be, but like I say, I want to see Monger in the team. But if he has a poor game, people are going to be slating on it as well. And he, for that young, you don't want to be in a team that keeps getting losses as well. Dawn says another loss as well. Mark here says, "Hi lads, fearing a big defeat." To be honest, I don't want to be deflated. I'm going to the game, but it's a big ask because, like you said, Sam, the next 6 games are very, very tough. And if there's any chance after them 6 games, we are still in a chance of staying up. There's a small chance because of the games we've got after it, but it's going to be unlikely because we'll somehow.
The best way I could put it really is we played, say, 10 games on the road. We lost 9 of them in the row, and we were still in it. And then we had to play West Ham and Brentford. And to me, if you're going into those teams and you're going into, we've lost 9 games out of the last 10, or we've only won 1, drawn 1. How can you go into that mentality and go into the game thinking, lads, we've lost 8 or 9 games in a row now, and yet we're still in it somehow, and yet there's none of them are going into that Brentford game going, we can get something out of this. We're going into it, and we get slapped, and when we get slapped against West Ham again, we're just doing the same. It's rinse and repeat.
Hey, I'm not saying that we should be winning the last 3 or 4 games. I'm just saying with the games we've got and the chance we've got, if we are still able to stay up with the last 5 games, there's a possibility. I know there's like from past form and whatnot, there's no chance, but you've got to still. It's still possible. Still,
We have to play till the end of the season, as every team does. But I think we have to give it up. Our chance to do it was a few games ago, but
yes.
we've capitulated. Like I said, we were still in it after losing 8 or 9 in a row. We were still in the fight somehow, and yet, you go to the West Ham, the Brentfords, and you get slapped around. Still, it's like, okay, lads, go see what you can do against Chelsea away then, because you're going to go and get slapped. We are, for me, we're in for a proper thundering of a game. We're going to get smacked 4, 5, 6 now. And to be honest, it won't surprise me. It just, I'll probably, have it on in the radio in the background whilst I'm doing other bits and bobs. Listen to it for 20, 30 minutes to go. All right, it's 4-0 down now. I think I can switch it off like most fans will.
Yeah.
Unlike you, Reedy, who's going to be down there. At least you see a lot of goals.
Yeah,
You might even
not
get on the
for
score
us.
sheet.
Yeah, maybe so. Right, we'll get into the teams then. Sam, I see that you're going to start in a back 3 again. We'll do it a
Yeah.
bit differently this week. We'll go through the sections. So I want you to name me your 3 defenders and your goalkeeper, please.
Goalkeeper, Hermanson, sure, put him in there. Stolisic, Danny Ward. Does it make a difference at this point? I really doubt it, because we're still conceding goals for fun. So Hermanson, he's not really done much since coming back from injury, but can't really say much else on it. Defenders, again, shambles, all of them. None of them know what they're doing. I'm being very negative because
Which three of the 4 you're going to pick, mate?
None of them. I'm going to put Patson, Daka, Edward, and Vardy. No, I'm joking. Middle centre back, I'm going to go Cody. Purely just because I think he's not played for a week or 2, so why not mix it around? He'd probably still be as rubbish as the other ones. Justin as my right centre back anyway. Again, like I said, I'm trying to play with this. Wing backs. I've explained. If you guys have been watching this regularly, I've explained it for the past 3 months now, and we still ain't done it. I'd shut my mouth if we did it and it didn't work. But I would like to try something different. Left back. Let's put Christensen as a left centre back. Why not?
We're going all out today.
Ones. Yeah, I know we did this a few weeks back, didn't we, Reedy? Where I put some players in weird positions, and I kind of get the same vibe from today's show that why not? Let's try and mix things up even more. Let's see how weird we can get this team going.
Maybe so. Right, I'll go to my team then. In goal, Stolisic. I'm sorry. I think Phil mentioned it as well. The last time Stolisic was in goal, we won a game against Spurs. And then since then, I'm not trying to blame Hermanson. We all know how well Hermanson.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, isn't it? That's
like I say, he was the last goalkeeper in the game in the goal when we won. So I know he did a few good saves against our Spurs game as well. So for me, I don't see what he's done wrong. Put him back in, maybe change something. You've got to change something for something to click. And I'm not saying Emerson's been at fault for a lot of the goals since he's been in, but he's not been to the form he was.
I think you could put prime Manuel Neuer in our goal region. We'd still concede 2 or 3 goals with the defenders in front of the players, in the front of the goalie.
Yeah, I will name my defenders first, and then I'll tell you a little thing that I heard on the Sky Sports about something as well. But left back, I'm gonna go Thomas. For me, as much as I don't mind Christensen, Luke Thomas he's something just needs changing. It just needs changing, and I don't think he's put a foot wrong since he's been in. Right back, Koulibaly. I think he's back fit now. From what Ruud said today in his press conference, he is back fit. So for me, he starts. JJ doesn't go anywhere near the team, and then the back two. See, this is where if there was any other team we're playing against, I would probably have started Vestergaard just because of his passing equality. But against Enzo, he knows what he's doing. He knows our team to a T in a way of like, we know what we're going to try and do. We know what
every team knows our team. They're shit. They score goals.
No, I get it. But I'm saying that Enzo knows us.
You don't need any tactical decisions.
These players to
Yeah, you don't need any tactical decisions to beat us. As much as Enzo, he is full to the brim of, his tactics work to a T for them. I mean, they do and they don't. Obviously, Chelsea fans have been moaning about the way they play, so it's not really the Chelsea way. But again, like I said, it doesn't matter who we play. I'd argue if we played whoever's 12th in the Championship right now, if we played them, I think we'd be lucky to walk away with a draw against them. To be honest with you, the way we're playing, I
Yeah,
think you've managed to sneak Fies in there quite quietly, haven't you, as well?
yeah. Mark just says, phase. It's hard because I would put Vestergaard in. I don't want to put him against Chelsea because he's just going to absolutely run apart with. And Cody for me, I really don't
You don't
have.
want to play any of them. Let's be honest. We don't want to play
I
any of
don't.
them.
But for me, I'm just doing more pace. Like if they're getting behind us, these two will be the ones to catch up. I know they're not great. I know they're not thingy. We all know what phase is like, but I don't know. There's no other choice. Like if I'm playing two centre backs, I'm playing two centre backs. I've got four to choose from. I'm picking my favourite two in a way of like I would put Westergaard in there if it wasn't Chelsea. But for me, and I will mention that Sky Sports has asked Cash Michael. I watched it back, and they said what would be better: a defense, a shite defense with one of the best goalkeepers in the world, or a amazing defense with a shit goalkeeper in goal. Who would you? What would you say has got more of a chance in winning games? I would say the team with the better defense, not the better goalkeeper.
Oh, I would agree. I think there's only so much a good goalie can do to prevent
Yes.
goals. He can make stunning saves, but when you watch, like you say, the prime goalkeepers back in the even Schmeichel and contention, when you see them make the saves, it's like, wow, that was a really good save. But you don't always look back at those back four defenders that do also prevent a lot of chances. I mean, you look back at the times when we had Morgan, Huth, Fuchs, and Simpson in the back four. Those amount of times that they would make some great stops and blocks. That's really does help the keeper out a lot. There's only so much a keeper can do. Whoever's in goal for Sunday, the defense is not going to help them stopping shots. None of them do anything to put themselves out there. They play like a bag of spanners, all of them. So I agree. I think it's way better to have a back four that's running and firing 10 out of 10 on all cylinders than a goalie who is doing that, because a goalie's only going to keep so many chances out if a defense is going to keep giving the attackers chances, and that is what we're doing this year. Hermanson, Stolicic, they're only going to keep out so many chances before eventually they're going to score. There's not much you can do about that
No, I get you.
apart from
Right.
getting
Well,
better defense.
yeah. Well, we're moving to midfield. I'm guessing you're gonna go for wing backs. Who are you picking?
Yeah, wing backs into my team. I'm putting Thomas in there as well, left wing back. Like I said, I just want to strip this whole team down and just completely change everything that we do. I don't think Ruud's going to do it. I don't even think we're going to do it, to be honest with you. But this is how I would like to play. And I'm going to agree with Koulibaly. I know Pereira's in and around the training ground. I don't know if he's
Yes.
going to be match fit again, but Pereira's done Pereira thing, hasn't he, by getting himself injured for a very long time. Which that shock. That's how he likes to roll, isn't it? Get out for the season. But Koulibaly in the team, fair enough. Put it back in there. Those are my two wing backs, and I'll move into my midfield, I guess, as well whilst I'm here.
Yeah.
I guess Ndidi goes in today. He's not really made much of an impact since coming back from an injury, but struggle to see who else should play there. There's really a toss up between who else do you play here. I'm going to go with Winks. I think I think Samari's been pretty poor the past few games. I think Winks has also been fairly poor the past few games, so it's
Whole
hard to.
season.
Again, yeah, I can't. Like I said, I can't tell you who I want to play without
There's not
being
been any
down about
decent
it,
players.
because
There's not been any decent players this season. It's
there's not
ridiculous.
been one. There hasn't been one good player this year that you've gone, okay, well, he's just a starter out and out every game. You might have said Holmes pre-injury, but you look at him now and it's like, well, he's not overly consistent. No one's consistent in this team. There's a reason we're second from bottom, and it's because we're poor. Like I said, we're going into these tactics talk, really, and I think I'm putting in, like I said, the 15 minutes of effort we've put in here is probably 15 minutes more than Ruud's going to put in this week for any tactical decisions for the game. So, you might as well have us two managing it, and we might finish third bottom instead of second bottom if you put us in charge.
Maybe so. So I've gone in my team to a 4-3-2-1. Because of the Chelsea system and how Enzo is, I just want to make sure we've got that extra man in midfield instead of the extra man in attack. And I know you know me, I like to be more attacking than defensive, but I just don't want to get absolutely slapped this game. I want to make sure we've got a cover in this team. So for me, Ndidi on the left. And this is me just on the spot thinking because I still don't know who I'm putting in. Sumari on the right, which again in the last form, I'm saying that he's not been anywhere near his level that we've seen this season. And then it's just this middle spot. Do I put the likes of Winks in there to be a bit more of that directional pass forward? Probably. I'm gonna go Winks, and I think he's been absolutely woeful this season. But the qualities he can have, and with the players in this spot, he can get that ball forward into them roles, which we can make creative stuff in there. So I think this is a good system in a way. Like you've got two defensive mids, one more mid man, and then going to the creative side up here. But yeah, that's me. Sam, what's your take on what I've kind of done in this game? Because I think
Yeah,
I know
it's
you probably
different.
weren't as big as what Enzo was for me, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just trying to protect every chance we've got of conceding a goal.
Well, we know that they're not going to go guns blazing because that's how they play.
Mm.
But they are going to the way that they play, in the way that we played last year, is out pass, out tactic, outplay these other teams. And like I said, it doesn't take a genius to do that. It just takes quality in players, and it showed last year when we could do it. Having probably £250 million squad in the championship. It's not hard to do it when you play that, and we still managed to make it hard. And again, I would still say that people don't like this system. Some do, some don't. A lot of Chelsea fans are saying this is definitely not how we should be playing. And it's cost them. I'd say the last 10 games have been fairly hit and miss for Chelsea, but still floating in that top four spot, which is definitely a massive improvement in the past couple of years for them.
Mm.
So, again, we know the way Enzo's going to play is to be the better team, to be the tactically and the positionally better team than the opposition. And it's not hard. It's not hard against us. Any team can do it. Like I said,
Even
if you play 12th,
Southampton did it to us at the start of the season.
I say
They
if
were
you play
2-0 up.
12th in the championship, whoever's sat in mid-table down the championship, I think they'd give us a good game. And if we came with a draw, I'd probably say that doesn't surprise me the way we're playing. So, I expect Enzo to use his tactics and completely steamrollers on Sunday.
Yeah. Right. Let's move into your attacking players. Are you going to go both cam roles, or are you going to go sort of like maybe a winger role in that role as well?
No, I'm gonna swap it around. You can take one of the. We'll play one cam. I'm gonna put Buonanotte in there as my attacking mid. Because why not? And then I'm gonna have two strikers. Why not? Again to the team. As far as the two strikers go, I don't know who to put in there.
You've already got a choice of two, mate, because one of them doesn't even play.
Yeah, I put Vardy as one of them. I do and I don't, because I'm going to switch it around, and I'm going to put El Canous as my second striker because I think he needs to be more higher up the pitch than he is. I think he's way too creative for the way we're trying to play him. I think I see him come back way too many times to try and help out the defence. So I'd rather have him up there, sitting ahead of Buonanotte, because why not at this point? Try something different. We're not going to. There's so many different things we could have tried by now. We all know we're going into the game with the rinse and repeat mentality of what's just lost us 4-0 and 2-0. So, and all the other nils that we've lost in the past 15 games.
Yeah, I kind of see where you're going with more of like the centre forwards like role with El Canous. I think maybe you might be able to support Vardy up front as a duo instead of it being more behind him and making everything for Vardy to try and do on his own. So I get it. I probably would see that sort of thing, and I'd like to see it, but I can't see it happening. So we're not going to see Edouard. We're not going to see Daka and Vardy. We've not seen them two all season together, other than being subbed on. But we're moving to mine, and this is where I am going to change it a bit. I am going to go more of a central cam roles, but I'm going to go Mavididi only because I think he has played there in the past, and I think when it comes to more being inside more than being on the wing, I think maybe you'll have a bit more skillful creativity in that role, and he doesn't have to be the one to take on his man. He can just be there to have the pace to get up the pitch quicker than other players. And then El Canous, yes, that means I am dropping Buonanotte, but I think with my extra midfield in behind, I think you have got to lose out on the attack in a way. You could put Buonanotte or Elkanou's there. Maybe Elkanou's and put Buonanotte here to be a bit more of the catalyst going forward. But it's just about the solidity in the back line for me, and you just got to make sure you've got the cover. So you could do that, and then up top for me, I'm sorry, Daka is the person, because there's got to change something up front. Vardy for me, he's just not finishing his chances. He might be because of he's not getting the service. People can give that reason or give that excuse all they want, but the chances he's getting each game, I know he didn't get one really against West Ham, but the chances he's getting in most games, he's just not putting away now. And something's got to change, otherwise we're just not going to keep scoring goals, and that's the only way we're going to win games, by scoring goals. So I'm not saying
replace it with the
I'm not saying
yeah, I
Daka's going to
know.
be the man to do
I
it,
know.
but who else is there? I would even put Edouard up
Edward,
there if I had to,
Edward,
but he's not going to play. I'd put Cannon in there, but obviously we've not got him. Like there's only two choices, so it's a difficult one. Sorry. What's that, mate?
I'm about
Yeah,
the internet is rubbish today. I keep cutting out. I said it's not really a me or you issue if Edward does or doesn't start. You know, he should be playing at least at this point, because Daka's not doing anything, Vardy's not doing anything. So why not play the player that you're paying 50 grand a week for? You're paying at least half his wages. Well, we're not paying all of his wages from Palace. We're paying half of it.
I don't know, but still. But there you go, Sam. Whose team's got more of a chance of winning the game, or has no one got a chance? Because
I might as well put all the money I got in my bank account for Chelsea to win on the bookie.
And then that's the time you'll lose.
Probably. I'm not confident at all. Like I said, we've fumbled the so-called easier games. There's no easy game, but the teams that were around us the last 6, 7, 8 games, they were way more our speed and level. Now we've got teams that are going to slap us and play us for fun. It's going to be Sunday League training game for them. I expect 4 or 5-0, and I expect that every game out of the next 4 or 5 opponents. I think we're going to go down in a really negative mentality. Personally, I would like to get rid of Ruud. I don't know what kind of he brings to the. I don't know what he brings to training ground, but all I've heard is negative comments. We've had him and Vardy and Top. They've all had discussions about influence that Jamie Vardy has over the club, and what he can determine. Ruud doesn't like that, and Top said, well, again, rumored that Top would listen to Vardy more than he's listening to Ruud about the situation. So it's one of those things. Obviously, Leicester till I die, thanks Jesus or God available, any chance of winning? No, probably not. I don't even think they could help us, mate.
I'll ask you 2 last questions. You know one of them. The other question I'm going to ask is Dewsbury going to start against us?
I thought he would earlier in the season. I think he's becoming a little bit more.
He did come on for like 2 minutes, didn't he, at the end?
I think he's becoming a little bit more regular in their team, mainly because he said he wants to play or he's going to go, which I'm surprised at a little bit. He's got the money, so. I think he might start, to be honest with you. I think you'll find there'll be a few players for Chelsea that are going to start that just don't really get into their team, because they're probably going to look at this and go, well, at least for the first 45 minutes, let's try something. Let's play those players. Oh, I think he's getting a phone call.
I am.
Nice ringtone. Cut his camera off. Yeah, but like I said, I think Dewsbury could start. I think there'll be a few of the fringe players that start for them. I really just getting wrong now. Absolute professionalism. Me cutting off and really getting wrong.
It happens every week, mate.
It's about as good as a football, isn't it, this?
Yes. Go on. Give us your score prediction before we finish, because she's probably going to try and call again.
I know. My heart is saying 5-0. My head is saying 10-0. Chelsea.
Okay.
I don't know how else to really say it. I could be confident about tried to be in the other games. I don't know how we go to Chelsea away. I don't know if anyone's confident thinking we can get anything.
No.
Why are you playing Christian in the back 3? Why not? That's my answer.
Why not? Even
Why
I wouldn't do
not?
it. I wouldn't do it,
Do
but
you want to play Vestergaard there, or Fies, or Coley? That because they're all doing great, aren't they? Why not?
yeah.
That's my logic. I'm not giving you a sensible reason as to why. I'm giving you a reason as to why not. So
Do you know what? I'll end this show off with a bit of positivity. We'll go to Chelsea and we'll get a draw, and I'd be very happy with that. Chelsea are going to be very off form. Cole Palmer will have 2 penalties and miss them both. And Dewsbury will have an absolute bang of a shot, and Hermanson will fucking save it and do that to him. Like, go do one. But there you go. We'll draw. We'll
we'll
draw, mate.
draw.
And then I woke up in the dream when I got back on the coach. Yep. Right, Sam, appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we can have some luck coming into this weekend.
I
But you
think we
never
need
know.
more than luck for it, but we'll see what happens, won't we? You never
Yep.
know. Maybe this is the time we'll finally turn that corner after. And we said it, Reedy. If we could easily walk out of these next 6 games, being 18 losses, I think out of 19 games, or 16 out of 17, something between that.
Yep.
Which is not good. It's absolutely not good. I don't think anyone probably alive to this day has experienced a manager do anything like that. If we were to lose 4 or 5 in a row now, I don't think anyone, not even at the worst points of Leicester's history, have we experienced losing that many games in a row. Premier League, Championship, League One, regardless.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's definitely. I think we knew going into the season the team was not strong enough, and the fact that we just got rid of players in January, absolutely class decision by the board to get rid of the players, get rid of some of the regulars, fringe players like Chowdhury, sell Cannon, bring no one in. Really smart business strategies going on from the club, because apparently.
And he's gone again.
So yeah.
He's back. He's back.
But I keep cutting off. The internet's rubbish today.
Right, there you go. Cheers, guys, and we'll catch you all on Sunday for the aftermath show before the game, and obviously Phil's show on the Monday. See you in a bit, guys.